Welcome to Dr. Jalil Photography. Today I'll be doing a photo shoot of a black color caterpillar on this setup. Let me explain the purpose of this video today. There will be several issues for this video today. This is Sony F4 70-200 Macro G OSS lens. I have been using this lens for a while for outdoor photo shoot, for landscaping, for portrait, for street photography. I love this lens since this lens has macro photography capacity with 0.5 magnification. So I'll be testing the performance of this lens on my tabletop studio. So this is one issue I'll be testing. I have already done a couple of videos on my tabletop studio with this lens. For my every video, I do some changes either in setup or in subject. So I'll be testing a different creative technique for taking macro photography on tabletop studio with this lens. And also, number 2 point is the study the performance of this Popeshield diffuser. I've already uploaded a couple of videos on this review on this Popeshield diffuser in outdoor and also in indoor. So this is also I'll be testing again the performance of this Popeshield diffuser lens today. Before going into details, let me explain my other gears. I'll be using Sony A7Riii camera with a Godox 350S flash, and you can see this Popeshield diffuser here, but it doesn't have any reflector, so I have added a reflector for this Popeshield diffuser like this. I made it myself. This reflector will push all the light through this radiant diffuser. So this is the setup. Now it is about this creative technique of taking macro photography on your tabletop studio with some live subjects. Today I'll be using a black color caterpillar. You can see there is a black color small caterpillar inside this box. It is walking. I'll be taking the picture of this black color caterpillar today. Now let me explain the setup for subject. I have wrapped a green color leaf around this torchlight, and I can illuminate this from inside. This will act as a diffuser. This green color leaf will act as a diffuser for the subject, as well as it will give the light from below. So this is the technique I'll be using for first time to take this some creative macro photography. And I have also one light from the top, extra light. In addition to Godox flash, I have added another spotlight on the top to give some extra light on the subject. And I'll be using a trigger for shutter release cable. Let me show you the camera stand. The whole setup of camera, the lens, all is fitted on this camera stand. This is a DIY camera stand. I made it myself from an old microscope. This camera stand has got a great benefit for me. This is very heavy, stable, and I can move the camera back and forth for precise focusing on the subject. So this is the benefit, and I can also do the focus stacking, slowly moving this wheel camera back and forth. This is one of the very beautiful thing I have made myself. I have already uploaded a video on the making process of this camera stand in my channel. So if you are interested to make it yourself, you can watch that video and you can make it yourself. This is very easy, very simple, and very cheap. You will not find this type of camera stand in the market, because this is a camera stand as well as having a wheel for moving the camera back and forth for focus stacking or precise focusing on the subject. If you are interested to make it yourself, please watch my video. I'll give the link below for this making process of this camera stand. So let me start. One more thing about this setup. You can see a green color big size leaf at the back of my subject. This is the subject stand, and this is the background I'll be using. Now I'll be showing the camera setup I'll be using today for this photo shoot. Let me tell about the camera setup. This is a fully manual setup. I always do macro photography with manual setup. I do not use auto setup at all. Shutter speed is 1/200, and I will start with f11. I'll start with f11 and I will change it to f13 and as well as f9 or f10 time to time. I'll keep the ISO at 200. I'll not change it, and I'll not change the shutter speed. I'll change only the aperture. On the flash, I'll be using 1/4 to begin with, and depending on the exposure, I will change it gradually depending on the situation. So this is the manual camera setup on the camera as well as on the flash. Now let me start taking the pictures. Let me put this caterpillar on this beautiful green leaf. You can see this is the caterpillar on my spatula. It is walking over here, and I'll put it on this green leaf. I'll just touch it, it will go automatically. The caterpillar is on the green leaf now. Let me take some pictures. This lens is 70 to 200 millimeters, so I'll be taking picture at 70 millimeter, at 100 millimeter as well as 200 millimeter, and see the difference between the focal length. I'll start with 70, and I'm sure it will come very small. Changing the direction as it is walking on this leaf. I'm taking pictures at 70 millimeter and continuously shifting the camera position back and forth for focusing. I'm using focus picking on LCD screen to focus. I've taken plenty of shots at 70 millimeter. Now I'm changing the focal length to 100 millimeter, and the lens is going forward, and my subject is now bigger with the same distance. At 100 millimeter, I am getting more blurry background. This is more blurry than the 70 millimeters. Subject separation is much better. You might have noticed I am using a wheel down here. This is a wheel. With this wheel, I can easily shift the angle of the subject by turning this wheel around. This is the accessory I have made myself, and I have already uploaded several videos on the accessories on my YouTube channel. If you want to make your own accessories for tabletop macro photography, please see my link below on the accessories. You might have noticed I am taking the picture from very close vicinity. It is about 4 to 5 inch gap from the lens to the subject. This is the beauty of this lens. You cannot do it, but you can do it with macro lens, but this is not a true macro lens. This is a 0.5 magnification only. This is a 70-200 lens, and I can take the picture from a very close proximity. And also, you might have you will see and there is a switch from and there is a special switch on this lens for macro. There are three positions. One is macro, one is infinity to 3 meter, and one is infinity. So this is the beauty of this lens, and I love this because I'm basically a macro photographer, and I can do it tabletop macro photography as well as plenty of other photography outdoor with this lens. Now at this moment I am moving the subject back and forth for focusing. See, I am just clicking the subject whenever it is in focus. Now at this moment I am moving the subject back and forth for focusing. See, I am just clicking the subject whenever it is in focus. Shifting the angle of the camera a little bit, rotating the wheel as well, and let me check the pictures so far I have taken. There are plenty, so I'll have to select the best one out of these 20 or 30 pictures. You see, all are focused, mostly are focused, some may be out of focus. I'll transfer all the pictures in Lightroom, find the best one, and I'll show you the pictures at the end of the video. I've changed the focal length to 200 millimeter, and I'll take at least 10 to 20 shots in this focal length, and I'll show you the difference. I've taken more than 20 shots at 200 millimeter, and certainly there will be some difference between 70, 100 and 200 millimeter focal length. When I'll be editing in Lightroom and do some little cropping with the best possible focused pictures, I'll show you at the end of this video. If you're new in my channel, and if you like my techniques, if you like my DIY projects, if you like my macro photography or outdoor photography, please subscribe, press the bell icon for my upcoming projects. Stay connected. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Now please see these pictures I have edited in Lightroom. Thank you for watching.